Cold starts kill your engine, short journeys kill your engine, long journeys at high RPM kill your engine. There's all this worry out there that we're destroying our car's engine. The reality is, though, that cars degrade over time. Like us, our bodies wear out as we get older. It's a normal fact. We're always just talking about improving the lifespan of these components as much as possible. But the thing is, if we didn't use our car, it would still wear out and degrade. And in this video, we're going to focus on the things that degrade when we don't use our car. And it applies particularly to cars that are in storage. But if we want to look after our car and we think that just by not driving it or driving it as infrequently as possible is going to prolong its lifespan, we might be surprised. There are quite a few things here that will degrade more quickly when the car is not used. Top of the list has to be the battery. The 12-volt battery in a car will supply charge to the car, and the modern car is using electric all the time. It's supplying the alarm systems. The onboard computer may be getting updates, satnav updates. It may be communicating with a central server regularly to just check in. It's listening out for your key fob signal to open the car. All of these things will drain the battery. So if we're not using the car, the battery is just going to be reduced in charge every day until it dies. And we see in some modern hybrid cars where a small 12-volt battery is fitted, these degrade very quickly, with some people experiencing problems after just a week or two of the car just sitting there doing nothing. Even if we just started the car periodically, it takes quite a bit of time to restore a 12-volt battery's full charge. It would take about 2 to 4 hours of constant driving to charge a 12-volt battery. Obviously, that's going to vary depending on the capacity of the battery itself, but don't think that running a car for 10 minutes is going to top up the battery. You're going to draw more current starting the car than you're going to put back into it in the 20 minutes or so that it's been running. A trickle charger attached to the battery is probably the best way to mitigate that problem and just keep the voltage topped up. Tyres, they're not being used, so surely they shouldn't wear and tear. Well, actually, we get something called flat spotting, where a car, bear in mind your average car now is 1.5 to 2 tons in weight. All of that weight is in a very fixed point on the tyres. So with it just sitting there, the tyres are starting to buckle under that additional weight, and the tyre pressure is always being reduced. It's just a factor of having something pressurized. It's going to lose pressure over time, and as the tyre pressure reduces, the wear and tear is going to accelerate from the car just sitting there with all that weight over the tyres. Your big enemies are UV light, ozone, and just the oils that are inside the tyre starting to seep away over time. Rotating the tyres, making sure there's a different contact patch on the ground every sort of week or so, will go a long way to minimising the risk. You see that a lot with caravans and trailers that tend to be sat there for long periods of time with inactivity, and those tyres will often burst when they're used because one part of the tyre has been pressurized and had that deformation over long periods of time, and that's become a weak spot, which is the first thing to go when the tyre is actually used. Brakes, again, the brakes are made of metal, and you probably notice after a rainy day the brakes are covered in rust. That rust will still form even indoors with condensation forming on the brake discs or the brake rotors. And eventually that rust is going to become so bad, you're going to need to replace the brake disc or the brake rotor, or it's going to bind on to the pads, and you're going to have a real job trying to get the brake to unlock. You might even notice after using a car that's been sat for a while, the first time you brake, you get a really rough grating noise as the brake tries to engage, and it's burring off all of that rust that has formed on the brake surface. Fluids in the car will also degrade over time. It's affected by air, moisture, condensation. The brake fluid is hygroscopic. It should be a sealed system. It's very easy for that to degrade if a little bit of moisture has got in there. Even engine oil will not last indefinitely inside an engine in a car that has been used a little bit and then stored. The additives in the coolant will deplete over time, and it'll be less effective at protecting the engine at low temperatures. If we are planning to store a car for a long period of time, it's probably a good idea to make sure the fluids are still changed regularly, or at least changed just before we go to actually put the car back into service. Now, fuel sitting in the tank will degrade. Petrol and diesel fuel will start to degrade after about 3 months. Now, the manufacturers do put additives in, stabilizers, to ensure that the fuel lasts a long period of time. But even with those stabilizers, you were still looking at a relatively short lifespan. And what happens is the fuel starts to collect moisture from the atmosphere, which degrades its performance inside the engine. The volatile compounds inside the fuel evaporate off and escape, which can, in some cases, dramatically reduce the octane rating of the fuel. Ethanol blends, which most countries are now stuck with, suffer from something called phase separation. And in diesel, we've seen recently in a video that I did that diesel actually builds up a microbial infection or a bug that starts to grow inside the diesel tank. And this fuel will just play havoc when you start the car. It will degrade the fuel pump, it will destroy the injectors, and it will dramatically reduce the overall performance of the engine, maybe even causing it to run rich and produce a lot of soot, which is going to have problems elsewhere in the engine. Rubber is quite an extensive component used inside the engine. A lot of hoses, a lot of seals are based on rubber, and they need a little bit of movement, a little bit of heat and cooling cycles to just keep them in good order. They start to dry out where they are just left in a set state for long periods of time, and that drying out can lead to cracking, can lead to leaks. And that moves us on to suspension components. Often the bushings are made of rubber, and these will also degrade over time where there is no flexing, no heat cycles going on, and the rubber will just deteriorate. And in some cases you'll get into your car and the rubber is just not there anymore. You've got metal on metal because the rubber has completely degraded. The shock absorber mechanism themselves can also start to seize up where it's been in a fixed position for long periods of time, and that will reduce its ability to dampen the shocks that we experience as we drive the car. The air conditioning system is always degrading. You've got a pressurized system there, and in most cases a good quality system will lose about 10% of pressure every year it is just left standing, and that can also degrade the rubber seals inside the air conditioning system, leading to faster escape of the refrigerant and the coolant that's used. Now, the exhaust is often full of moisture from the last run that we did, particularly if it was a short run, and that's just sitting in there. So if you've got a metal thing with water on it, it's going to rust, it's going to degrade very quickly. When you're using the car, there's a lot of heat going into the exhaust, which is a good opportunity for it to burn off all of this vapor that it's trapped inside, and there's no moisture inside an exhaust that is used regularly. Even the interior components, the leather seats for example, and the plastics that are used will start to degrade. The natural oils evaporate. The fabrics can absorb moisture and start to form mold. And you'll probably notice that first of all as a damp, musty smell inside the car, but it will get worse, eventually necessitating you to do an extensive refurb on the components inside the car. Making sure the air in the car is as dry as possible will go a long way to protecting that sort of damage, particularly from mold and moisture. And you can get these little dehumidifier kits that have crystals that pull the moisture out of the air and help to achieve that. Now, another thing that often goes is just the electrical contacts. Now, you might think that by not using the car there's no wear and tear going on, but oxygen is reacting with the metal inside the contacts. It starts to oxidize. This oxidization can reduce the effectiveness of contacts, and it often manifests itself as an intermittent fault. It's getting contacts some of the time but not all of the time, and that's often just down to the fact that it's been sitting there. There's been no current running through it, no vibration, no heat cycling going on, and it's just started to degrade over time. It's often the engine sensors and the earth point that suffers the most first of all. That's where you notice it, and annoyingly they can often appear months after a car has come out of storage, but the damage has already happened. So be aware of that possibility. It may just be the electrical contacts have started to become oxidized, and often unplugging and plugging something in is just enough to restore that contact and reduce that problem that we were having. If I've missed any out, please let me know in the comments. I love hearing your feedback and your suggestions. If you've enjoyed the video, hit that like button. That really does help us to get out there, and if you're not subscribed, please do so. Again, that'll help us to get the channel out there, and I've lined up this video and this playlist that you should find really interesting. Thanks for watching. See you in these next videos.